I'm back. Yep, here I am. Back after 2 weeks. Today is the 4th of February 2025. This is my January roundup, plans for February, bit of haul and just general showing off what I've worked on. Here we go. Flosstube number 57. Welcome to my channel. My name's Leonie, aka Stitching Noni, and as I mentioned, today is the 4th of February. This is a bit of a close out of January. My last update was the 21st of January, so there's a bit of a week and a bit, a few days of February in here. So shall we just get on with it? Because the longer I ramble at the beginning, the longer this is going to be at the end. So maybe I just get on with it. I do have my front door open because we have a most glorious breeze coming through at the moment. So I do have that open. If it gets noisy, I will go and close it. But fingers crossed, it's not going to be too bad. I'm really hoping it's not going to be. So on my last update, I sort of showed you what I had worked on, what my plans were for the next 2 weeks of January. So I'm going to update that. I did not get through all of those huge plans, but you know what? I didn't do too bad. Okay, the amount of stitches that I meant to do didn't quite get there, but I will tell you what I didn't quite work on and stuff, but I'm happy with what I did. So for the month of January, I actually did 10,450 stitches. So that's pretty awesome in the sense that I was actually quite busy with stuff and I didn't actually even think I'd get to 10,000 stitches. So I'm really happy with that. I have a sort of hidden goal of doing about 120,000 for the year. So that really is great because that's just put me right on track for that. But that's just those little silly little goals you have. But yeah, so 10,450 stitches for January. Really, really pleased with that. Worked on 11 whips in total. Fantastic, which is, again, good because I've had some rotations happening and stuff. So really happy with that. I'll tell you some more about the January stats at the end once I've gone through what I worked on in January. So first one I'm going to pull out in my little box here. So I've tried to be organized and I've put them all in a little box and on the chair, the ones that don't go in here. Let's see if this works. I have a funny feeling it probably won't because I'm gonna have to dig, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm sure it'll work. Right, so the first whip I'm gonna pull out is Shimmering Mermaid. So this is a Mirabilia. I pulled her out in January as she was a decision wheel whip. So as I have mentioned, I've tried to put my whips in some categories. I have 5 different categories as well as a group of whips I'm calling my whip of shame. Mirabilias are in one of the categories. So I've picked 5 Mirabilias for the year that I would like to work on. Every month I will spin a wheel, little decision wheel, and see what I work on for that month. The object of the game for Mirabilias is Extreme Cross Stitch Challenges group has a Blingy Monday, 200 stitches on something with bling. You determine bling, gold, metallic, beads, whatever. Mirabilias are notorious for bling, so guess what? That's what they're doing. So these will only be worked on a Monday and potentially a Tuesday, depending on how I feel and whether I got 200 stitches on the Monday. I'm really pleased because by doing that, I hit my yearly goal on this one. So my idea was I would pick 5 Mirabilias. Then obviously there's 12 months of the year, so I'll pick one for the month, which means I'll end up mostly getting a second rotation. I said they would all have 1,000 stitch goal for the year. I've done it on this one. That's pretty awesome. Now, that is potentially because there was probably 5 Mondays in January, which helps. So if we haven't got 5 Mondays, it's not quite going to get there, but that's okay. I'm really pleased. So stitch goal was 1,000 stitches. I did 1,130 stitches on this gorgeous lady, which completes, as I mentioned, completes my goal for the year on her. Now, let's see if we can get her so that you can see her quite prettily. I will put a picture what she was like at the beginning of January when I started. If I think about it, I might even put where she was as of the 21st of January, but pretty much you will see what I've done. So I have worked on there, moved up. I think the last time you saw her, I had actually backstitched her face. So this time I've only done one more rotation on her since my last video, and all I've done is work in that, finish this hair off. So this is where she's at, 1,130 stitches. So since my last video, I've done another 204 stitches. Goal is complete. She is stitched on 32 count Opal Belfast Oceans from Colour Cascade Fabrics. So very pretty Mirabilia, nice pretty fabric. Tammy's fabrics are great for Mirabilias because they're always beautiful colours. And she's a Mirabilia stitcher herself, so she does some gorgeous colours for that. I started her on the 6th of October 2017. So yes, it would be really nice to do some finishing. So if she comes back out again for sometime this year, which I'm hoping she will, I will keep working on her around the hair. These are the chronic and the beads, obviously, and then I'll come down and finish some more of her arms and basically finish the top before I come back down here, because somewhere in here I've got to rip some of this out because I miscounted and tried to fudge and made it worse. So yeah, my fault. Should never fudge, right? Yeah, don't fudge. So yeah, really happy, really happy. So I have a new Mirabilia for February, which we'll talk about shortly when we get to that. So she will go away now, but that's the most I've done on her in quite some time. So yeah, it's nice to have actually got some work on her and complete the yearly goal even better. We'll do it this way. Hopefully this will work where I can put them at the back and forward. Right. So that's my category for Mirabilia's done for January. My next category, I have a category of focus on finish, and I have 2 full coverage which I have slated for a finish. One's a stretch goal to have it finished, and one is definitely going to be finished. So the stretch goal one is the Story Keep a Brush with Magic, which is a Haid. And the artist for this one is Lisa Parker. So to get this one finished, I need to do a huge amount of stitches for the year, but I'm going to try. Okay, we're going to try. So to finish it, I would needed at the beginning of January to do 54,390 stitches to get it finished. I'm currently sitting at 33.67%. So you can see I've got a long way to go. But having said that, I was at 30.13% when I started the year. In January, I did 2,754 stitches in total on this. And there's another 739 since my last update. So I did have this on my last video. So having said that, I still need to do another 51,636 stitches. Yeah. Given I thought I would get close to 4,500 stitches on it, and that's what I need. Well, actually, I need 4,900 stitches a month now. I don't think this one will actually get finished this year, but I'm hoping that the back end of the year, if I can get some of these other goals knocked off, this one can be a serious focus and I can maybe still do it, but we'll just play that one by ear, right? So stitched on 25 count Lugano 1/1 full cross, started on 21st of December 2022. I haven't touched it yet for February, but as I'll mention in plans, I'll tell you when I'm planning to touch that. I hope that truck is not going to make too much noise. Oh, he's gone. That was quick. Yes, so let's see how we go. But this is one of my focus pieces for 2025 to try and get it finished. And I'm now working up here. Well, actually, no, a lie. I was working down here, trying to bring this down, and then I'll come back up to this bit here and I'll bring that down. And then once that's all level, we'll change the Q-snap again and work out where we're going from there, and just keep working our way down. But reasonably happy with that progress, but would like to have got more. It's just ran out of time. Okay, so what's next? Oh, Bernie. I don't think this box is going to work for some of these other ones. We'll work it out. Okay, so the Haid Sale 2024 Bernadette, artist Richard Lorenz. Now let's get this start getting busy. I'll see. Hopefully when I check back on this, it's not going to be too loud. So 2025 goal for Bernie is to finish it. I needed 25,081 stitches at the end of 2024 to make this a finish in 2025. This is my 25,000 in 25 whip. I'm currently sitting at 65.01%, and I started at 61.68%. In January, I did 1,557 stitches, so I didn't hit my goal for January on that, which is a real pain in the butt. I've done another 625 in February, and I've basically just been working in this bit, which is the inside of her mouth. So I'm bringing that down, and then once that's down, I can do the fill-ins, and then we'll start working on that one again. So for the rest of the year going forward, I do need to do 2,200 stitches a month to get it done, which is sort of doable, even though I only did 1,500 stitches in January. So that's sort of up to what I need to do each month. But again, you know, I know that if I can get some of these other goals done a little bit earlier, surprisingly, I got, you know, Shimmering Mermaid done really quickly. It may be that I don't actually bring out more mermaids or more Mirabilias when I've got rotated through them and done all my things, and these ones will then just be the focus at the back end. But the plans are still, they're a bit fluid. I'm still trying to work out what's the good rotation to get this to do. But we'll get there. So she was started on the 2nd of January 2024. Stitched on 25 count, easy guide, 1/1 full cross. So we're getting there. So all I need to do is another 22,899 stitches and she'll be finished. It would be nice to get this finished this year. I'd be really happy to do that. And that'll be my first Haid finish if I can get one of these done this year. I'm going to stick these over here because I think that might be easier for that box. Right, okay, let's sort this out. Next, okay, I think that's all I had to tell you on that one. Okay, Haid Sale 2025, Descants. Now, Descants is my choice for this year's Haid Sale. This is a Stephanie Law design. The 2025 goal for this is 6 pages. Now, to do that, I have to do 46,000 stitches, essentially, around 46,000 stitches. The other goal I've got is actually 50%, which is 41,000 stitches. This one, as much as, yes, I would like to get the 6 pages, I'm not stressing over it. So this one will probably always be on the back burner. Everything else will be done first because those other two are more important to me to get done. But having said that, I love it. I've really enjoyed stitching on this. So in January, which is all of this, there's no February stitching in this one, I managed to do 1,957 stitches. So nowhere near the goal to finish, because I need to get around 4,000 stitches a month to get this finished. I started on the 1st of January 2025. It is on 28 count easy guide 1/1 full cross, but loving it. This is her head. This is her head. So this is where I've actually been. Yes, I've gone out of the line, so to speak, because once I started doing this, I just kept going and kept going, and I've just got this thing. I want to get this head in. So once this is in, I'll come back over here and start working. And I am finding if I can do a little bit of this light stuff, do a bit of color, come back to the light, and there is a lot of light in here, right? But I am finding that's some of the best ways I can do it and keep myself going on that, because I knew I would struggle with some of the lighter colors on being on white. I did sort of think maybe I should have done it on a colored fabric, but it'll be fine. I'm getting used to it. And I am actually able to do this surprisingly without the magnifier, whereas with my haunted house, because I'm working so much in dark colors, I tend to use my magnifier on it just so that I can see the holes better. But yeah, quite happy with that. If I can, I think, when did so I showed this, I think I'd done 1,029 in my whip parade. So I didn't show it to you in the last video, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I've done another 900 stitches since the whip parade anyway. But yeah, so she'll be fine. We'll see how far we go, but as I mentioned, I'm not going to stress over doing it. If I don't get the 6 pages this year, I'll just finish them next year. She'll stay in rotation because she's really sweet. Okay, now I have to do a bit of rearranging because I need this one. Oopsie. Put that on here. Okay. So one of my categories, I have a couple of different categories for some of these whips. So all my haze, I picked up a goal for each one of them to do a percentage goal, but I also allocated the ones with cats into a separate category, all of their own. The reason I've done that is I want to get work done on all of my haids this year. 2, in full coverage fanatics, we're stitching to the moon, and I'm in a team with some fellow stitchers who are stitching on cat whips as our challenge to get to the moon. The goal for a goal for that particular thing is if each of us in the group does around about 2,000 stitches a month, we'll get there. And I did considerably more than that, so I'm happy because that means I've met my goal, personal goal on my cat stitching. But it also means that some of my cat stitches, or cat whips, got some work on, like Sonura. So Sonura came out, she didn't get a lot, she got 509 stitches on her, which was essentially up here. So I've just been working, because I'm now working in her hair. I'm going to sort myself out. So I'm trying to sort of finish a page and then I'm going, but I'll just let the thread tell me where it wanted to go. I have a goal on this one to increase it to 7%. I'm currently at 5.13%. I need to basically get another 5,000 stitches in it for the year, and then I will hit my goal. So I'll be really happy if I can get 5,000 stitches in it for the year. I'll be super happy. Sorry, I've done 539 stitches. My monthly goal is 509 stitches. So yeah, so if I get 500 stitches a month on her, which is a day, 2 days stitching, perfect. And I'm sort of working out where I can slot her in. If I get more, even better. Started this on the 28th of January 2021, and it is stitched on 25 count Lugana 1/1 full cross. And that's where she's at now. Doesn't look like much with that head, but she's getting there. So let's put her back in her bag. And stick that over there. It's funny how you start to get organised and then all of a sudden you become very disorganised. Doesn't take long, does it? Okay, now this one's going to be a bit hard to wrangle because I need some more grime guards, and so this one hasn't got a grime guard to hold all this fabric. And it's a lot of fabric because it's a big project. So this one is a Haunted House. It is a Haid. The artist is Donna Gelsinger. I have a 2025 goal on this particular one to get it to 3%. I'm currently at 1.92%. So I'm over halfway there, so that's pretty good. But I do need another 5,647 stitches to do that, but that's okay. In January, I managed to do 321 stitches. I haven't touched this since my last update, so basically the stitches was in here. So I'm really just closing out January and saying what I worked on for this one in January. This comes out on the 13th now of every month for the Extreme Cross Stitch Challenge, Fall, Halloween, daily, well, 13th stitching challenge for each month. And in October, it will get a bit more of a focus, obviously, for October stitching. Started this on the 24th of December 2023. It is stitched on 28 count Lugana 1/1 full cross. And if I can get 500 stitches a month on it, then I will hit my goal of 3%. So at the moment, I'm not overly worried that I needed 300 because I know that October, it is going to be a focus. So, you know, easily get that this year if all going well. Next one. Another Donna Gelsinger. So this one is a Long Winter's Nap. This is gorgeous. I love this. So this is a Donna Gelsinger. This, I can lean it on the cupboard. This one I started as a sort of a memorial piece for my dad and I'd started on the 26th of December 2024, which was the 6-month anniversary of his passing. And I have mentioned in my whip parade, and I think it was just in my whip parade it was just in my whip parade. I think I talked about why I started this. And my goal for this one is to get it to 5%. Currently, I have got 1.7%. So I still need another 4,000 stitches to get this to 5%. I did 300 stitches in January on this, and it was really just filling because I picked up the threads that I hadn't got. So it was a lot of 934 and stuff to fill in that dark stuff, which is surprisingly is dark green, but looks black. That is dark green. I started, as I said, this on the 22nd of December 2024, and it is on 28 count easy guide. If I can get 300 stitches a month on this, between 300 and 400 stitches a month on this, I will hit my goal for the year. So I'm really pleased about that. I'm working on this one on the 25th of every month for Extreme Cross Stitches Christmas Winter event on the 25th of every month. So easy, if I can get 300 stitches. So it'll either be out for 1 day or 2 days. It just depends on what my rotations are doing and how many I get. If it doesn't quite get finished, well, hang on, I shouldn't say that. This will also come out in July for Christmas in July, and it will be out in December. So I, again, have no hesitation in believing that I will get my goal on this for the year because I have plans to do it. So yeah, I hope it's, whoa, sorry. It's getting a bit of a pile behind here. I'm gonna have to move them, but I will move them in a second because I'm almost finished with what's on the chair and then they can all go back on the chair. All right, so that was all my full coverage for January. Now, we will talk about the whip of shames that I chose for January. And I think I'll need a slurp of my coffee to do this one. Puppy's gone to sleep. I might have to shut the door now she's moved. We'll see how we go. So, snore. So, whip shames. So, I'll just go into the box and pull out a couple of bits. So, part of my plans for 2025 was to choose some whips that I have not touched for a long time. They were all old. Some didn't have a lot of stitches on them, whatever. The idea was I was going to bring out one each month, driven by a decision wheel, and work on it, if I could, 100 stitches a day. And then Siska bought out the Glamorous 3, and I thought, well, I can do that and use my whip of shame. So then I choose 3 each month by the wheel, and then try to follow a little bit of what her wheel spins are when I work on them. That's what I tried to, that's what I tried to do in January. It didn't really work for me because I've now given myself the hiccups. It didn't really work for me in the sense that I felt like I was changing too quickly and I wasn't doing anything. So I then tried with a couple of these where I just worked on it for 200 or 300 stitches but took photos every 100. That annoys me because I hate trying to remember to take photos every 100. But I was doing that, so that helped. But then I actually didn't get to do my 3rd one at all. I never touched my 3rd one because I just sort of lost a bit of momentum on it. So I have a new plan, which I'll talk about at the end. But I'm still quite pleased with how I went with these particular ones that I did work on. So we did get somewhere. We just didn't quite get as far as I was hoping. So the first one I'm going to show you is New Year's Magic. So this is a Brooks Books design. It's a freebie that was on her website now. I don't know if her website, how long it's going to be around for, but her freebies, the last time I looked, which was only a few weeks ago, just after she passed, are still there. So if you want to jump onto her website, get your freebies, because I don't know what's going to happen going forward. They may disappear. Now, I didn't quite get as far with this as I would have liked, but I don't even know, to be honest, I don't think there's any further progress since my last video because I just haven't worked on it. I lost momentum on this quite quickly. This is stitched on 32 count Opal Belfast Sugar Cane Crunch from Stitches and Spice, who no longer dyes fabric. You can see how long ago I started it because I actually put some sticky tape around the edge to stop it fraying. Don't do that anymore. She was started on the 12th of January 2015 and she's still not finished. She was supposed to be finished in January, but I didn't get there. So she will come out again. So in total, I managed to do 501 stitches for her, which is sort of a bit like my new plans now. So she got 5 days stitching. So, that's good. So she'll come out again some point later in the year when she gets picked. I will try and rotate through all of them before I go back to any of these ones. Unless they're cool, they match a prompt, then I might bring them out, but we'll see how they go. So that's that one. Not much to tell you about that at all. The next one, which is sadly not finished either. Now, it's very hard to put up a picture on this because there's no mock-up of the finished one. You're just going to have to go with what I'm showing you. And it's a bit crinkled because I just took her off the Q-snap yesterday and I didn't bother to iron her. I just stuck her straight in the thing. This is the Faces of Joan Elliott's out from 2014. Now, I chose this as my whip of shame because technically this should be well and truly finished because, it's not hard. But as I've mentioned previously, I did 1 over 1 in the face. I don't like it, I don't know what to do with it, and it stopped me going any further. And my idea is I'm going to pull that out, and now I'm thinking I just can't, but I might pull that out because I can't face doing all of that in 1 over 1. So we'll see. This could just be my experiment whip, you know, it doesn't matter, but we'll see. I, in total, did 833 stitches in January on this one. So, you know, not bad. Almost my 1,000 goal for the year. Well, actually, my true goal for this is a finish, but, you know, be nice to just get 1,000 stitches on it. So, almost there. This is stitched on a 28 count. Now, I noticed that I'd written somewhere it's Belfast, but there's no slubs in this. Oh, there is some thickness. So it probably is Belfast. There are some thick threads. So I'm going to go with that it is a 28 count Belfast, okay? Something, 28 count linen, something. Not Belfast, but something. Started on the 29th of September 2014. What did I do on this for the, in case you didn't see my last video, what did I do? So I did the cat, finished my pussycat, he's cute. Did all his back stitch, finished him off. He was really good, nice and done. And I would have put up a photo of what it looked like for the beginning of the year. And then I moved to Mr. Dragon and started working on Mr. Dragon, which is this little fellow here. So I've almost finished all of the DMC in this, and there is quite a lot of Krynic. A lot of all that blank space is Krynic or beads. So that's as far as that's got for now. So when I come back to it at some point, I'll finish the dragon. I will then go across and do the unicorn, finish the peacock. Then this one, I haven't done any skin at all, so I will finish that one. Then I'll do this one. This is the mother and child, and then I'll come back to the top and work out what I'm doing with these two up here. This is pretty much finished except for beads and backstitch. This one obviously has got the skin and a few bits more. So I'm just going to keep working down, finish all the easy blocks, and then I'll come back and deal with those. But that's for later on in the year. Whether I finish this one this year, I don't know. It will depend on timing. I'm guessing not. But it will depend, because if I get some of those other whips of shame done, then this can just become a focus on a finish, and I can probably get it finished. So yeah, so that one's done. That was the January one. We'll talk about the other one in a minute. So the next one I've got, where is it? Oh, there it is. So in my category of focus on a finish, I have 5 that I'm really focusing on. Obviously Bernadette, Brush with Magic, and then this one, and then the other 2, which we'll talk about later. But this one is the Bookshelf, which is a Little House Needleworks one. This has been around for an awful long time. So I started this on the 8th of January 2018. This is actually going to stay out now until it's finished. So that's how I'm going to roll with the category of focus on a finish. It will stay out because obviously those other 2 are going to take me all year. This will stay out. When it's finished, I will spin a wheel and pick which one out of the last 2 will be the next focus. This is stitched on 28 count Opal Lagana Gaia from Under the Sea Fabrics. I will put up obviously pictures to show you where it was when I started for this year. But essentially what I've done is I put in the words across those words there. I finished that book spine, and I've done those 2 letters. I'll keep going now on here, finish Bookshelf, and then I'll go to the top and finish what's at the top, and then if you come down and finish the bottom, is it going to slide out easily? Yep. Yes, so the fill-in on the book spine is gold, so I've just got to go and sort out pulling some gold metallic out. But I'll finish this, then I'll come up here. Once I've done that, I'll come back down and I'll finish down there. That's the plan anyway. But yeah, this one will get finished this year. As far as a monthly goal goes for them, I'm not giving it a monthly goal as such. You all right, mate? Good girl. Yep, if 300 to 500 stitches. I did 312 stitches on it for January. So yeah, if I can get a day on it, absolutely. Because, you know, the thing is, if I don't work on it, I ain't going to finish it. And I'd really like to get it finished so I can work on that one of the other two at least this year. Let's see how we go. Okay, so that's that one. So the last whip I worked on in January was my whip go draw. So this one actually got drawn. So another category I've got is working on charts from magazines. This one comes in the magazine chart and category. It's not on the front cover, is it? No, of course it's not. So it is a magazine design. It's from Gal Boosie, and it is in the Halloween 2013 collection. Hopefully you can see the chart. So this is it. So this is the little stitching witch. She is on Whip Go for 1,000 stitches. Is that Whip Go for 1,000, or is she Whip Go? I haven't got it noted down. No, she's a finish. So she's a finish, but she's not, you know, she's not huge. She has been drawn for January's Whip Go. So I pulled her out and I managed to get something done on her. So I'm really happy about that because I didn't touch the other whip draw. She is stitched on 28 count Opal Brittany Dead Sea Salt Flats from Jodery Designs. And what I managed to do on her is her feet. And that's it. But I did backstitch her feet while I was there. So I've done her shoes and obviously the legs, because it was just there before. So I've done all of this, all of that's backstitched and just across there. So when I bring her out again, she will, I'll just start working, you know, somewhere else and probably do a bit more down towards here and work my way up here. But she is slated for a finish. We'll just see how she goes. But really quite pleased that at least I managed to touch her, even if I only got 246 stitches on her. At least it was better than nothing. So that is all of my January stitching. So as I mentioned, I managed to do 10,450 stitches. My lowest stitch count day was the 21st of January and I did 116, but my highest stitch count day was the 20th of January when I did 566. I averaged 337 stitches a day, which is pretty good given, you know, busy at work and stuff. But of course I had a week or so off and a long weekend. And I managed to stitch on 31 of 31 days, so even better. The whips I did not work on. So there is two I didn't touch that were in my list of goals. So I had my little tiny chatelaine Debbie's Roses. That was the Whip Go draw and didn't touch that. So that is going to have to come out at some point. And there is hardly anything left on that to do. I've just got to finish some eyelets and stuff. So I will try and pull that out. And the Halloween sneak peek from the trilogy. So I haven't touched that either. Again, not a lot to do on that. Right. Shall we talk about February plans? Boom, boom. Let's see. We only have 28 days in February. So I think I'm going a little bit ambitious again, but we're going to see what we do. So for February, my whips of shame, the decision wheel gave me 3. So this will be for Siska's Glamorous 3. Bonsai and Buddha. Advent Animals Peter Polar Bear. And Flower Pot Kitten cards. So let's pull them out. Now, So these are the starting points, sort of, because I've started one of them, obviously. So, excuse the noise, because it's Velcro. So this is Bonsai and Buddha. This is a dimensions kit. I don't actually know exactly when I started this. It was back in 2010. That's all I've got. And that was going back from my blog, and I hadn't actually got a date on it because when I started it, but I'd already started it when I was showing it on my blog. Yeah, what can I say about that? Dimensions kit. And this is all I've done. And I think I mentioned on my previous video that I don't quite get the fact that it's painted, and the design apparently is supposed to fit in the whole painted section. It doesn't. I did actually notice that the other day, I must have started stitching it upside down. Wouldn't have made any difference, because even if I did that, it still is not as wide as the design. So I'm not stressing. I know I started in the center because there's a center mark, and that is definitely the center. So I know I've started right. It's just that this obviously is not painted as the way it shows on the cover picture, but that's okay. So this is out for February. We'll see how we go. We will see how we go. Fingers crossed. I must get a proper bag or something for it, because it's a bit of a pain. The other one, which got picked, how's this? I will put up a picture because this will be easier than me trying to do this. This is a Brooks Books design, and I know a lot of people, when these came out, stitched them. There are still people stitching them. Even last year there were still people stitching these. This is number 2 from the Advent Animals collection that she did, and it's Peter Polar Bear. So I've done the first one, which I think was Katie Kitty, and that was finished. I had started Peter Polar Bear and number 3, which is Mary Mouse, and that's as far as I'd got with them. And I'm probably not going to stitch the rest of them just yet. I will get these 2 finished and then put it away, and we'll decide how we can go. Now, I managed, because these are PDFs, to get them into Pattern Keeper, although obviously you can't choose your thingamajiggies, your thread, your stitches, but at least I can mark it off, which makes it easier. So I will put up a picture, but essentially in the last 3 days I've done 307 stitches on him, so he is almost finished. So I'm happy. This is where I'll be telling you in a minute my new plans for these. So I've done all his feet, done his little tail, and I'm coming up here and working on his head. When I finish all the horrible white, all I then have to do is do his hat, his nose, fill in his ears and his eyes, and then backstitch. Oh, and obviously finish that little thing, because I had to go and get some more black to put in with this whip. And then that will be finished. So, cool bananas. Cool bananas. Happy with that. And then obviously the next one, Mary Mouse, will come out at some point when she gets picked, because she is also on the wheel for the Whip of Shame. So really happy with that. So would I say 307 stitches? It's that particular one, or I think that particular one was started on 23rd of January 2015. So I think I did a blitz of new starts in January of 2015, and that was one of them. Now the fabric, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to, I know I've written it down somewhere. I'm pretty sure it is a Stitches and Spice fabric, so I'll have to have a little squizzy, and in the editing, the magic of the editing, you'll know. I've lost one. I don't know the other one. Why not pull it out? I didn't pull it out. Right, now, so the next one is the number 3 for Whips of Shame for the month of February, is this little freebie. So this was a little free gift that came from the World of Cross Stitching, Have no idea what year it was, but given I started in 2015, it's back at least one of the 2014 issues, because I started on the 29th of January 2015. So it is back, way back when, okay? So yeah, it should have been finished, because really there's nothing to it. However, I now know why I put this away, because I did a boo-boo. Do you notice a common theme? I did a boo-boo and I put it away and I ignored it for the rest of the next 10 years. It is 10 years too. So I have pulled this out, and I was working on it on Sunday, because I thought, well, I'll knock off at least 100 stitches on it. But I didn't. I've only got 35. So I've not counted it in any of my stats until I finish 100 on it. So I just did a little bit up here. And I was looking at this because I managed to put, just take a picture of this and just put it on good notes so that I can at least mark them off and go as I go. But then I couldn't work out why this looked odd. And now I remember that when I came across here, I've miscounted somehow, and the grey should come down here and the white should extend out. So what I'm going to do is possibly, I don't know, I might just finish this pussycat and see how I go. If I have a meeting that I can just listen to, which I think I have at 7:30 tomorrow morning actually, I might just pull this out, work out what that should be and fix it, and then I'll be back on track, because it's just not gonna, it looks odd, because once I start to backstitch, you're going to see that that's a bit odd, because it really should come down here a bit more. So I'll fix that up. But for the time being, if I pull this out again and do my 100 stitches, it'll just be finishing off up here anyway. So I'll just work up on the top of the, oopsie, I'll just work up on the cat for the time being and get rid of the glare, and get him done. And then once he's done, I'll come back, because so you can see there should be a lot more white in the thing. So that's why I put it away for 10 years, because then I just sort of went, ugh. So that's the that's the third whip of shame for February. Righty-ho. So category stitching. So we have got pussycat whips. So pussycat whips, 5 of those. Decision wheel pick. So the decision wheel for February picked quarantine cats. Awesome. I'm happy with that. Definitely very happy with that. Now, quarantine cats has a 2025, oops, wrong one. That's the other one. Oopsie. It was this one. Quarantine Cats has a 2025 goal to increase it to 8%, which is a total of 3,300 stitches for the month, so for the year. So doable, right? I'm currently at 7.03%. I haven't touched it this year. So basically I'm only increasing it by 1% for the year. I started this on 25 December 2020. It is stitched on 25 count Lugana 1/1. There's been no stitches yet in 2025. This is just to show you my starting point for February. I will potentially be working up here, which is where I left it when I worked on it last year. And if I get a couple hundred stitches for the month, I'll be happy. I'll tell you about what my plans are with it shortly. So that's the Pussycat whip. The non-full coverage whip, which has a yearly goal of 1,000 stitches, the decision wheel picked for me. It picked for me Castles in the Air in my So Much to Love bag, the only one I have. This was my birthday present to myself a few years ago because I love this. I'd love to buy more, but just pricing and shipping. So Castles in the Air, which is a long dog sampler. I will pop a photo up probably because this is a bit glary. 2025 goal for this is 1,000 stitches. Let's see how many we get for February. I started this on the 20th of August 2017. It is stitched on 32 count Belfast At Last by Colour Cascade Fabrics. I love this fabric. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And it's in white DMC, which is, I wish I'd never done white DMC, but it looks stunning. It does look stunning. I'm very happy with the way it looks. It's just, it's a pain because I don't know how to make my white stitches look pretty. I railroad them. I spend hours trying to get them all nice and neat, but I'm never happy with them. But never mind. So as I mentioned, this has a yearly stitch count goal of 1,000 stitches. So it will come out this month for a couple of hundred at least. We'll see how we go. Don't know how far we'll get, but it will hopefully get something. So that's just the starting point for February. Then the non-full coverage whipped magazine chart category. The little wheel gave me one I haven't touched since I started it on the 17th of May 2018, and at the time it was a Stitch Mania start. The old days when we did Stitch Mania. This is, you don't need to know that, that's when I stitched it. That was the counting. This is called Morning Has Broken. The designer of this is Mari Richards, and it comes from Cross Stitch Collection 1, and I have no idea, but I have written April 2022. So yeah, but I had it sitting in my chart stash for quite a while, obviously before I started it. The idea is to get this one finished. That's its goal for the year, which can be doable because it's actually not a lot, but that's all back stitching. So, and the bird's the biggest bit to do, so there's not a lot to do. Hopefully it'll get lots of noise, sorry. Hopefully it will get a couple hundred stitches for the month, and basically that's the size of it because I did the border when I first started it. It is stitched on 28 count Opal Lagana Galeen from Under the Sea Fabrics. So that's obviously all of the fabric, but I'm not using the whole lot. I'm only using that top part. So that's my starting point for February. So when I bring this out, I will work on that bird because that should hopefully give me a reasonable amount. It's actually, being one of those old style charts, it's a bit painful. So I have taken a photo of it. I'm going to see if I can get it into Good Notes and see if that helps me do that. So that was that one. Okay, Mirabilia. So my Mirabilia category for February, the decision wheel picked for me Royal Holiday. Royal Holiday, I started on the 11th of November 2018. So see, you can see how old some of these are. This is why I'm pulling them out. This is why the decision wheel is telling me what I'm working on, because I just can't get back to them. Royal Holiday has a stitch goal for 2025 of 1,000 stitches, like all my Mirabilias. I'll put a picture up of where she's at, but I did work on her last night, and I managed to get 101 stitches in, and all I've done is the grey and the blend. So up there is a blend, and then that was that little bit of grey down there. She stitched on 28 count Opal Lagana Gold Digger Old Map Style from Colour Cascade Fabrics. This, as I mentioned, my Mirabilias will be Blingy Monday. So every Monday I will stitch on them for up to 200 stitches. Well, around 200. Obviously, I only got 100 stitches because I finished work late last night and I just didn't get to start it early enough to get anything more. Plus, it was a lot slow going. I actually had to sit down and try and work out where I was. I've got a horrible feeling that I've got a mistake in that little tiny bit I did, but then I couldn't find it when I was looking last night. So all of that took time. And in the end, I went, you know what, let's just start it because I'm never going to get stitched. So yeah, so we did. So that's my Mirabilia for the month. And I'm going to have to, oh gosh, I'm running out of room. It's going to take me ages to pack up today. But we're almost there. Okay, so focus on a finish. Again, I'm going to be working on Bernadette, Brush with Magic, Story Keep, and the bookshelf. So that's my focus on a finish category. Whip Go draws for 2025 in February were numbers 7 and 8. On my Whip Go board, you will see a lovely square that's already done because I finished one. And then the rest aren't so good. So 7 and 8. Number 7 is Sonura. So you've already seen Sonura. So she has to come out again. I'll see how far she goes. And Cat Race. So Cat Race will come out. And I haven't stitched on Cat Race in quite some time. Just throw that over there. Pull this off. So Cat Race is a Jeff Haney. And I love this. I really need to get back to this one. These are so cute. This is stitched on 25 count, I'm molting. 25 count Lugana 1/1 full cross. I didn't put down when I started Cat Race, but that's okay because you'll have that down the bottom anyway in a minute. It's a couple of years ago. The stitch goal for this is to get this up to 5%. So if I can get a couple of hundred stitches on it, I'll be really good. I don't know why I didn't. I meant to come back and actually tell you where this is started, the starting point, but I'll sort it out. But this is the starting point. Last time I worked on it, I was up here working in this sort of pipey thing for the balloon, where the main focal balloon and cats. So I'll come back and start working on that. It will be out. It will definitely be out because I want to work on that. So because, you know, I need cats, right, for my trip to the moon. So this is the key bit. This was going to be a short video and I just realised I'm already at 57 minutes. Better wrap it up real quick, hadn't I? Okay. This is how am I going to do this in 28 days? Well, not even 28 days now because it's the 4th. So Mondays are Royal Holiday, my Mirabilia, 200 stitches. So that's my blingy Monday. And it is also the Extreme Cross Stitch Challenge designer of the month, which is, I've chosen Mirabilia because out of the list, Mirabilia is the one I've chosen. So Bernadette, I'm working on her this week. So she will be worked on, and yes, she did get worked on the 1st and the 2nd, but she'll be worked on this week. I didn't do her last night, obviously, because I worked on Royal Holiday. So Bernie is my focus for this week. Next week, my focus will be Descants because I need to work on, sorry, not next week. Next week is a Brush with Magic, sorry. So next week, the 10th to the 16th of February is a Brush with Magic. I had to switch them around. So I'll be working on a Brush with Magic. That'll be my focus for the week. And then Descants will be my focus the following week because that's where the Whip Warrior Strident Cell fits in, and that's my whip for the Strident Cell. Haunted House will get worked on the 13th of February for the Extreme Cross Stitch Challenge for Halloween. A Long Winter's Nap will get worked on the 25th of February for the Extreme Cross Stitch Christmas Winter Challenge. The Whips of Shame. Now, this is the key bit. This is where I'm hopefully going to actually work on these whips. So Peter Polar Bear is from the 1st to the 9th of February. Flower Pot Kitty is next week, the 10th to the 16th of February, which gives me time to sort out that little fluff up. And then Bonsai and Buddha I have slated for the last week in February. So fingers crossed I do that, right? Now, the other things, this is how I've had to do this. So the bookshelf, I'll work on the 24th to the 28th of Feb. So that means it'll essentially replace those 100 stitch a day ones, the Whip of Shames, and I can hopefully get maybe 100 stitches or so every day on that. Morning of Broken, what I'm going to try and do with those ones is make them the 7th, the 20th or the 21st, around about there, and do 100 stitches a day on that. That will work that out. Sonura, I've worked out that the weekend, the 15th and the 16th, I will work on that. Quarantine Cats, I'm working on this weekend. No, next weekend, the 8th and the 9th. Oh, that's why. Morning is broken. That's why I've got that for the, yeah, that's the weekend. Cat Race will be the 22nd and the 23rd Feb. So that's how I'm going to hopefully get that one done. And then Castles in the Air, I'm working hopefully on the 27th and the 28th. So fingers crossed that will work. Fingers crossed. If I do that, I'll be really happy because, you know, it'll be good. Right, I need to get my iPad for this bit because this is my stash acquisitions. I haven't spent money for a little while except on the odd Haid sale. And guess what? There's been a Haid sale. And guess what? There's a new Jeff Haney got and Richard Lorenz got released the other day. And guess what? I bought them both. So I've bought Catnap, which is Jeff Haney. And I'm sorry, but I had to. Because right in the middle, there is this gorgeous pussycat with a bug on his nose and a mouse on his head, and he's looking at the cat treats, and he just reminded me so much of Felix, except for the teeth. Felix's teeth didn't hang out quite like that, but yeah, he reminded me of Felix. So, yeah, I had no choice. Okay, so I got that one. And then small Odie. I adore Odie. I got Odie, the other Odie, so now I bought small Odie. This one's sort of got a bit more of a Christmassy feel. So this is Richard Lorenz. Absolutely adore Odie. And oh, did I mention? I don't know if maybe I mentioned it in the last video, or maybe it's since the last video, but Richard Lorenz and Randall Spangler have done a collaboration and both put out diamond art paint charts. Hopefully Haid eventually gets them because they are gorgeous. I don't think I mentioned in my last video, so I'll pop the pictures up of those. But yeah, they've each done one, and the collaboration is their main characters, but the other artists' characters worked into the artwork. So it'd be absolutely gorgeous, absolutely just they're just adorable. I love them. And then, so in one of the groups I'm in, Whip Warriors scavenger hunt, I need to find something with a flamingo. So we're doing the scavenger hunt. Now, I haven't got access to a flamingo. Yes, I could maybe put something on a video and take a photo of my whip with it. And I went, you know what? Maybe I have a flamingo whip. And I don't have one. But no, so nothing. But I do have the Snowflower Diaries, the yearly ones that she did. She did a sale a few years ago. And there is a flamingo in that, but I've not started that. So I could start that. But in one of the other groups I'm in, they actually have a flamingo challenge in there at the moment. And if I stitch on something flamingo for each of the tasks, I get double the points. So I went, you know what? I'm going to go find me some flamingos. And who's the best person to go and see besides Haid? Hands on Design. Because I knew she had some flamingo charts. And I was even happier when I saw that I could now get them as downloads off her website. Yes. So that meant I didn't have to order them from one of the local stores and wait for them to be ordered, because when I checked our local ones in Australia, a couple of them had them on back order, and then one other did have them, but not all of them. So I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to go and get them and get downloads. So I've got You Had Me at Flamingo. So as you can see, there is a pillow type one. So I could do that. And there's also a little tiny one. So I could do that. Flamingo bells. Love this. These are so cute. I remember seeing these when they came out and nearly bought them then, but I didn't. And now I have, because these came out in 2020. So yeah. So flamingo bells, love it. Flamingo all the way, another cute one. Yep, gotta have that. And then the third one, which was Fa La La Mingo. Yeah, you know, I bought that one as well. So that's my stash acquisitions. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to start any of those, but I'll probably start one of the little ornament ones sooner rather than later. I've just got to work out. I suspect I'll be doing them all in the DMC because there doesn't appear to be a lot of variation, or, you know, in the looking at the pictures, there doesn't appear to be a lot of variation in some of the thread. So I don't think, unless I've got it already in my stash, I'm not going to waste my money in buying it for the small tiny bits you've got to stitch. So I'll just use DMC for them. But cute, huh? So yeah, so that's that. Really quite gorgeous. So I think I'm going to have to finish there now because I'm now gone over an hour. And yeah, it's probably time to pack up and clean up. So I will say goodbye and say thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate everybody coming and making some comments on my last video when I asked for some, whether you wanted to see some Flosstube extras. So I'll swap some of those out over the next however long it takes me, but I'll do those. And yeah, I think that's it. So I'll be back in 2 weeks and I will hopefully have some good updates for you. But until then, take care, stay safe, be kind, look after yourself, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much for watching and joining me, and for commenting and subscribing and liking. Catch you later. See you soon. Bye.